Okay, now we have the last video. I've had questions on specifically 15, 16, and 17 on 6.7. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these problems. Number 15, I've redrawn the picture here, and it says find arc EF, arc FG, arc GE. Find the measure of those arcs. All right, so over here we have arc EF. I've kind of outlined it here in pink. And just like case 3 from the last problem, this is one of those situations where we have two tangent lines, and we have, for this one, for that angle right there, we're going to have arc EGF is the big arc, and EF is the little arc. All right, so right here is the equation that we're going to use. Angle Q is equal to 1/2 big arc minus little arc. All right, so we know angle Q. We got that. Ta-da, check that baby off. Okay, and it appears that we have two unknowns. We have two arcs here. So how are we going to solve that? All right, so let's think about this. We notice that arc EGF and EF together, total, go all the way around the circle. Or in other words, they total 360. So we have to relate the arcs to each other. In doing that, we will be reducing two variables, two unknown variables, to one unknown. Okay? What I just said, I'm going to repeat. So we have to relate the two arcs to each other, thus reducing two unknowns to one unknown. All right, so think about this. EGF is part of the circle. EF is the rest of the circle. Okay. If you realize the significance of what I just said, I would like for you to pause the video and try to set it up yourself. All right? Then come back. If you don't realize the significance, then just continue on. All right, we're going to assign X to the big arc measure. Okay, measure of EGF is equal to X. I just redo the same shape there. Okay, so that EGF is X. I could have chosen the other one too, but I did not. All right, so that means that the measure of the little arc has to be 360 minus the big arc, okay, because the little arc is the rest of it, right? All right, so now we have the big arc, X, the little arc, 360 minus X. X and X is the same variable, all right, and so now I'm going to use those for my expressions in order to find these arcs, all right? So this means that the measure of angle Q is equal to 1/2 the big arc minus the little arc. Okay, and I'm going to substitute in my equivalencies here. So 60 degrees is Q equals 1/2, and my big arc is X, and I subtract my little arc right here. Okay. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is multiply by 2. I want to get rid of that 1/2 outside there. All right, so multiply by 2. There's my next line. 120 equals X minus, and I still have this in parentheses because I have not dealt with that negative. That's going to be, once you figure out how to set it up, dealing with that negative is the most likely area where you're going to make a mistake. All right, so I distribute that -1. Remember, a negative in front of a parentheses is in essence a -1 that needs to be distributed. All right, so next line down, 120 equals X minus 360 plus X. That's what happens there. All right, some kids are going to say minus X and then X minus X. There's no X's left. What the heck just happened? All right, so be careful with that. Now, I'm going to add my X's together. 120 is 2X minus 360. I add 360 to both sides. Here I am. And I divide by 2. 240 degrees is equal to X. X was the big arc. So that means the little arc is 360 minus 240 or 120. Ba-bam. Okay, so that was arc EF, measure of arc EF. So now do the same for the measure of arc FG and the measure of EG. Give it a try. See ya. You know that, well, anyway, give it a try. Once you measure, you add actually these three arcs together at the end, that, and that, and you should get 360. All right, next question, question 16. Okay, this one took me a couple times, so I'm going to show you my thought process here. All right, let's move this up a little bit. I have a definitely hokey setup here. Okay, so Nielsen attempt number 1. All right, I'm looking at this problem. I don't remember how to solve it. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, the circles are similar, so a proportion should work. All right, that's my first thought. I'm going to test it though, because I'm not sure. There is that subtraction thing going on, so something else might be occurring. All right, so I put this together. 18:54, biggest to small is biggest to small. I solve for x, or I solve for that small angle, and I get x is 36. Okay, so I'm still questioning, is that correct? I can check it though, because if x is 36, that means this arc is 36, which means that angle A, I can find angle A. So if I find angle A for the big circle, and then I find angle A again for the small circle, I should get the same number. If I've done it correctly, I should get the same answer. All right, so I put the measure of angle A is equal to 1/2 of 118 minus 54, and I solve, and I get A is equal to 32. Okay, that's for the small circle. Big circle, measure of angle A is 1/2 79 minus 36, and I get angle A of 21.5. So that did not work. Something is wrong. Okay, but in doing this, I realized, I know how to do it. Once I did this, I realized I did know how to do this. Okay, and again, I'm going to check what I do, just in case. All right, but let's try what I saw here. The above check gave me another idea. Since angle A must equal angle A, I know that 1/2 of 118 minus 54 must equal 1/2 79 minus x, our unknown. All right, so I break it down. I solve for x. Basically, we got all algebra here. End up with negative 15 equals negative x. That's all good, because x then equals 15 degrees. All right, and then I can test this. I'm checking it. Test, check, whatever. Okay, I use different words for things. All right, so 15 degrees, angle A equals, 15 should equal 1/2 of 118 minus 54. Wait a minute, let me think about this. Oh, x is the arc. Okay. Angle A is that. Actually, I might have that wrong. Okay, because that is not going to be 15, not equal. All right, so, but again, I got one more idea here. Back to this. Okay, we solved angle A with the two unknowns. Some of you that have now followed me, you've now going, oh, Nielsen, I see how to do it. Okay, so does Nielsen finally. Okay, right here, I know the angle, measure of angle A is in fact 32. Okay, so I use that on the other circle, the big circle. Let me just set it up again. And I'm going to say angle, well, 32, that's angle A, equals 1/2 79 minus x. Okay, so that's 64 equals 79 minus x. X is equal to 15. Okay, never mind, I was right. Ta-da! X is 15 degrees. All right. Okay, I just checked the heck out of that. So, anyway, there you go. Later, Gators.